Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you're watching, this is Mappa. And we have a special guest because we always bring on the best. Always bring on the best. And my guest right here, Group B's leading goal scorer. He's played for Anorthosis, for AEK, for Omonoia. He knows Cyprus inside and out, knows it better than I do. Rafa Lopes. Rafa, what's going on, bro?
Hello, Kalispera. Thank you, first of all, for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me because I follow you. I see many things from you from Instagram, so it's a pleasure to be here to speak a little bit about everything.
Oh, bro, you know what? It's an honor to have you on the podcast because you are etched in Cyprus football history, and you're a good guy. And to have someone like you on the podcast is going to help us as well. I'm not going to lie, it's going to help us. But thank you for your time. I know you're on holiday, so I don't want to use up too much of your time. You want to go to the beach, you know?
I,
You want to relax a
yeah,
little bit.
today no, but for sure the next days I will go.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, well, look, let's start from the very beginning, and let's talk about when you were growing up in Portugal. Did you follow a team? Did you support one of the teams out in Portugal growing up?
I was, I was, I'm supporter. I say I was because before I was following more. Now with the time, and when I start to play against them, this feeling about like real fan supporter, it decreased a little bit. So I was supporting Benfica. Even now, I support Benfica. I prefer Benfica to win than the others, but
Hmm.
now is not like let's say huge fan that I watch every game. Of course, I prefer them to win, but no, not crazy fan. But
Okay,
Benfica, yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. Did you have any heroes when you were growing up as a kid? Any favorite footballers?
Uh, Ronaldo, Fenomeno, the Brazilian. Uh, I grew up watching him playing. It was my position. So yeah, Ronaldo. I think the phenomenal. Yes, I think
Yeah.
if I have to choose one, I will choose him. Yeah,
Choose him. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm a bit older than you, so I remember watching obviously Ronaldo, but before that was Romario and
yeah,
Careca
yeah.
and Canidia.
Yes, that's why. For example, yeah, for me the three, let's say, forwards that I like. Yeah, Mario, Ronaldo, the Brazilian, Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. Um, for me, these three are top. But you ask me from when I grew up, and I grew up watching Ronaldo, the Brazilian. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Well, you started off at was it Varzim? Was that the club that you started off
yeah,
at in? Yeah, and then you
yes,
moved to Setúbal in 2011, right?
yes, yes.
And you.
Barzing. It was my former club. I start
Mhm.
there. No, my city is Fazenda. It holds after in the middle of the academy, I changed to Varzim. I make one season as a senior, in the first team. After I was transferred to Setúbal for the first division, and yeah, this is 11, 12, I think.
That's right. And the goalkeeper at the time was Ricardo. He's the guy that
Yes,
saved the penalty against England with no gloves.
with no gloves. Yes, yes, yes. Ricardo, yeah. In that time I had in Setúbal. I mean, I had so much experienced players in the team. It helps me a lot in my career, really. And I was 19 years old, and maybe 60, 70% of the team, it was like 33, 34, 35, some players. And I I tried to take everything from them, advices about, for example, about my career, about money. They always told me, Rafa is about not how much you win, is how much you save, how much you invest. I know when you are 19, you don't think about the future. After maybe 26, 27, you start to think, but maybe it's late. Uh, be responsible with your with your career, with your salary, and many advices I take from them. It was for me, it was really important, with 19, 20 years old to have this kind of dressing room with experienced players that they play in the amazing level in Portugal, national team like Ricardo, you talk about him, uh, and another players, Hugo Leal, they played in the PSG, in Athletic Madrid, so and another players that play in Porto, so amazing, top level of football. To take these advices from them, it was really important for me.
And do you think that is something that Portuguese clubs try to promote with the older players, to tell them we need you to look after the younger players? Because we've seen so many great players coming from Portugal, not just now or in the last 20 years. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, I think now, to be honest, now they don't have this mentality anymore. Now in Portugal, maybe some teams. I don't want to be unfair to to all of them, to all of the teams in Portugal. Some of them they make this. They when they build a team, they have 26 players. Let's say average number 25, 26 squad. They try to have 4 or 5 experienced players. To help the young players to grow up, not only in the future in the football, but uh, to grow up as a man, as to take advices, to know, uh, to have this, like I said about me, to have these advices from
Yep.
from to the future, to grow up also as a person and as a man, and of course
Yep.
after it will help you as a player as well. Understand? But in
Yep.
Portugal now, most of the teams they prefer to have young players uh, uh, to play, to sell. So some of them, some of them, they continue with this mindset. For me, it's the best to have a mix. Young players, experienced players, and to have a mix for them to help each other. I think for me is the best, but not all of them look for this let's say project. They look more
Yep.
for the investor project, like for okay, let's bring players 20 years old, 21, okay, one good season, 6 months, good, okay, let's sell 1, 2, 3 million. Okay, it's an idea. I don't say that it's wrong, but I have my opinion about that.
Is that something that you've seen happen in Cyprus now? I mean, if you look at players that have left the island, especially young players like Gaguli that went to go
Yeah,
to AIK, or even Giulio that left Anorthosis to go on loan to Torino for a
yeah.
bit, is that the mentality that we're seeing in Cyprus now?
I think now in Cyprus, it's I think year by year, it's changing a little bit. Year by year, it's changing a little bit the mentality. I think now uh, most of the teams they have young players. I think before was more difficult. This is my opinion. What I see, what I saw from the time I was here. Now I think most of the teams they try to have a mix.
Right.
To have young players, to have also good players, Cypriot players, young players from outside. Already try to bring young players from outside. Before was more difficult to convince young players from outside to come to Cyprus. Uh, Most of the players that teams bring is 29 plus. You know, it's more easy to convince them to come.
Yeah.
Now, what I see is the teams they slowly they are also because the championship is really competitive now, and every year Cyprus is putting in the European groups at least 1 or 2 teams. This brings also reputation for the country and for the league. Uh, yeah, but as I said before, yeah, they are trying to make a mix, and for me, it's the best combination in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you, what I've always believed is the younger players in Cyprus, as you said before about your experiences, they need to ask the questions to the older players, not just about what happens on the pitch or the training ground, but also off the pitch, your diets, your sleeping patterns, these little 1%, they all matter.
Yeah. Now I think the kids also they don't ask too many things like we did before. Some of them they ask, some of them they listen, and they try to follow. Understand? And if they listen and they follow, it can help them. For example, I will give you an example that Evagoras, the time I was in Anorthosis, 6-7 months, let's say, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months in total. I'm counting with the preseason as well.
Yeah.
Many times he asked me things, to be honest, and many times I tried to also help him when we were making, for example, finishing exercises. I tried to tell him, look, in the box, you are a little bit like me. You are not so tall, so you cannot be stopped in the box because most of the central defenders have more 10 centimeters than us. So you have to wait maybe 2 meters, wait 1-2 seconds, and we have to win to this central defender in the timing of the jump. And like I said, and he listened, understand? He listened these advices, and for me, is grateful to try to pass what I received before, and I try to pass these advices to him, to another young players, and he's a player, he's a guy that he tried to listen what I said to him. Understand? I always say, Rafa, what you do in this case? I try to say, look, if you are in this moment of the game, you have the ball here. Try to shoot, I don't know, cross. Try to head also every time down. After maybe the ball will go in the middle. But if you target to the middle, maybe the ball will go. It will go up. So always you listen. And for me, it is an example of a young player in Cyprus that he can reach a good level because I think he had the mentality. He listened to the advices, and he have the potential, of course.
Well, mate, it's interesting you mentioned giving the advice and the type of advice you give in terms of, for example, the 10 centimeter height and knowing when to anticipate the jump. Other things are obviously important, like movement, working on your finishing, all things that you've mentioned. But I don't think all of this is natural ability. I think a lot of this is down to working in training, doing extra time at the gym to make these little things. So how can you make this into, like, if you were to write a manual or a book on finishing or what it's like to be a striker, what are the key things that you would add in this? I know there's a lot of things, but what would you say are probably the most important things when it comes to being a striker and knowing that penalty box?
Yeah, look, I think, for example, the header is something that you have or you don't is everything is about training. Everything you can improve. For example, about me, I always had a good header even from the young. As a young, I always had a good header. But what you said is, for example, the timing of the jump, the movement of the box. This is you have to work in the trainings. Understand? Because when I say timing of the jump, of course you need to jump high, and this, of course, you need to do in the gym certain exercises to increase your jump high. But the timing is practice, because the timing is when you see your teammate is going to cross. You need to know the time that you will jump. You need to say calculation. Say, okay, the ball is coming in 1 second. I need to jump. To try to win the position of your central defender that is marking you. Also, you need to know most of the times where your teammate will cross, if you will cross most of the times to the first post, most of the times to second post. This is analysis, this is not training, this is analysis. The rest in the box is training. Is training, is practice, practice, practice. And if you do this, I don't know, you don't need to make every day, but 2-3 times per week, because after you cannot do every day because it will affect your muscles. You jump every day is not so good for your muscles. But 2-3 times a week for a striker, I mean, this is very good. If you can reach your prime, because we as a strikers, we have, they say the prime of the strikers is between 28, 27 to 31, 32, and more, because more you have, more age you have as a striker, more experience you have, you start to understand the central defenders, because this is like a battle, is one against one. Understand? So if you know what central defender thinks when he looks at you, you take advantage. But if that's why I said I try to pass these advices, because if as a striker you reach your prime, as I said, prime, I when I say prime, I say like your best season, for example, one of the best seasons of your career. If you reach this, or 24, 25 years old, then you can go to different levels, different clubs. Understand? This is That's why I say that it's important for the young players to listen, to try to reach the prime as soon as possible.
Well, yeah, I agree, Rafa. But the other thing that interests me a lot about, especially how you play, is I've noticed a lot of your goals have been not necessarily headers, but they've come from maybe a cross in the box. But what you've done, you've started your position behind the central defender, and you've kind of made this arching run where you've timed it and you've gone right in front of the defender, so they haven't expected you to get there. Again, I'm sure this has come with experience and come with practice, but do you maybe look into the defender, or maybe look at how they played before you go on the pitch against them? So say, for example, you're playing against, I don't know, Roberge, or maybe Juste, or maybe... Do you watch videos of how they play so maybe their weaknesses, or are you just going with, what, I know what my winger's going to do, I know what my defenders, my fullback's going to do when they cross it in the box, where it's going to be?
No. This is, like I said, this is analysis. For example, we'll speak about, for example, Cyprus. My time in AEK, my time in Anorthosis, always I ask 1 day before, 2 days before, analysis of the defenders, the central defenders, and the right and left back from the opponent. And what I ask is not the best moments or bad moments. I ask the behavior in the crosses. I talk with the video analyst, I say, look, I need, I don't need a lot. Send me video of behavior of central defenders when the other team is crossing. I need to know what positions of the box they cover more. So I make this analysis 1 day before the game, when I'm on the bed, I'm making my recovering machines. I take not maybe 10-15 minutes. I watch the behavior of them. If they mark more close, if they give space for the striker, in they mark zone and not man to man. So I take this, and I know, of course, in the game is difficult because you never know what they do, and they will play against me. I don't know. Maybe what I feel is after some games, the central defenders they start to mark man to man to me in the box. So I needed to let's say update. I needed to find solutions to win. Understand, to the central defender. So if they mark me man to man, so what? In my head, so what I have to do? Okay, if he mark me man to man, I come more outside of the box. Understand? So what he will do? He will follow me to outside of the box, and he will open the space. Another player can go there. Understand? So with these videos, I know before the game which zones I have more possibility not to score. I never think about to score. I say what positions in the box I have more possibility
Make the
to
space.
make the space or to make the header or to make the shoot. Then if it's goal or not is another story. But always I try to, in my mind, in my brain, to have okay. Tomorrow I play. Let's say I play against Robert. Okay, he's a player that he mark more zone. Okay, so I have space in the box to move. Understand? So I know in my brain in the game tomorrow I have space. I have more time to think. Maybe I'll play against I don't know. Kolibali from Omonoia. Okay, this player is mark me more man to man. What I have to do? Okay, I will bring him outside and then I will try to win with these movements that you told me. I will go, I wait behind you, and then in the last moment, because you will look for me, and this time you lose 1 second, it's maybe this second I can reach the ball. So this is for me is a work that you do, but you don't do alone. You need analysts to cut this these videos. Also, I ask from the goalkeeper behavior in the crosses, if he cover more first post, if he cover, you know.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's analysis, practice, everything. Of course, after you have to help, you have to have wingers, fullbacks that they know you. We say where you like to go in the crosses, where to cross. So it's many things involved.
Loads of factors for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And I think we're going to go back to this conversation later because I've got some ideas anyway. But let's quickly talk about when you moved to Omonoia in 2017, and that was before the Baba Stavro takeover. And I know that season, I'm an Omonoia fan, so I'm going to say we had 4 coaches. We had,
Yeah.
I think the first 16 games was like a mixture of wins and losses.
Yeah.
Then we won 7 in a row, and then we went into the playoffs. We lost 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
They had the financial problems. I know there's a lot to go through there, but what can you tell us about your experiences at Omonoia, just in general, really? I mean, it was crazy, wasn't it?
For me, for example, it was my first time of my career outside of my country. Uh, the first impact it was really good, because when a lot of players from Portugal played in Cyprus before, friends of mine also they always told me, "Oh, Rafa, Cyprus is amazing. You will enjoy it. Omonia is a big club, and it is." Uh, and my first impact it was really amazing. I saw we went to the mountains, not Kiperunda. What is the name? Ammonia goes Trodos.
What's that?
Trodos.
Trolos, the mountains. Yeah.
Yes. So we went there. I don't know how many fans it was there to watching the train. I say, oh my god, this is really amazing in Portugal we don't have nothing of this. So I came. The first impact it was really good. Then I made I don't know if you remember I made injury in my shoulder. I
The
had two,
shoulder
three
injury, yeah.
weeks. Yes, in Salamina Stadium, I remember it went out. Okay, after it, I needed 1, 2, 3 weeks to recover from this. And I was playing, not playing. Like two strikers with Derbyshire was a good combination when we played together. Um, like I said, after Pambos, he went out. Came the Bulgarian coach, and
Petev.
in Peter, and this time that we win 7, 8 games, for me it was my best moment. It was my best moment, I think, in Omonia because I scored a lot of goals. I was playing really good with Peter, and suddenly start problems, financial problems,
Mm.
these problems that that they put out 3 players on the side. Me, Renato Margas and Alex Suarez suddenly with no reason, with uh, with without an explanation to us.
Yeah.
Many problems in the club. And for me, it was a pity because I was really enjoying my time in Omonia, and I was really playing very good because I was
Mm-hmm.
playing in a position that I never played before. Because when Peter came to Omonia, he called me and said, Rafa, you are playing with Matt Derbyshire. I like this combination, but I like to play 4-2-3-1. and I think you can play number 10. I said,
Okay.
okay, cool. I never did it before. And he said, don't worry, just I will show you. I will teach you because you have the skills. You are smart enough to play in this position. So I think it will be really good for you and for the team. I said, okay, coach, if you think, okay. And you know me from cyber, I'm also, if it is good for the team, it's good for me. I always put the team in front. And I said, okay. And every training, he was helping me with the positioning, control, where to move, where to receive the ball. It was really good, and I was my best time in Omonia was with Peter. I mean about the goals, assists, performance was really good. Then they destroy everything. They destroy everything. But
Yeah.
in the end, I had possibility to stay. Uh, when finished the season, I had the possibility to stay because I had contract. I think 1 or 2 years more. I don't remember exactly. But I think most of the people in Cyprus know that in January we found in our son a heart problem, and he needed surgery. So in summer, I decided to go to Portugal to follow this to this problem close, because we needed to go to Portugal. We we make appointment to the surgery to January. So I didn't want to stay in Cyprus alone and my family there and my kid there. I want to be close in this process, the before surgery, in the surgery, after the surgery. I wanted to be close. And in that time I spoke with, I think the sport director was Angel Gomez. I don't
Yeah.
want to say okay. I don't want
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah. 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 He was
Be-
there till yeah.
Yeah, because he called me, he said, "Oh, Rafa, now it will be different, ammonia. Don't worry about the past." And I said, "Look, thank you very much for the phone call. In this time is I have this problem with my son. I would like to stay in Portugal. I hope you understand. Um, it's not a decision about club, country, uh, nothing of that. I just want to be close to my family in this moment." So he told me, "Rafa, don't worry, don't worry. Everything you need, just tell me. Don't worry. You want to go Portugal, just go. We fix everything with the contract. Uh, don't worry about that." And for me, it was really good behavior from him, from the club. That's why I have respect from Omonia.
Rafa, I don't want to get too personal with this, but you mentioned your child and the issues that they had with their health. I'm guessing you knew about this throughout the season, but yet you were still performing. How difficult was that for you, changing your mentality from being that caring father to going on that football pitch and doing your best and playing well?
No, it was difficult because when we found this problem, it was really straight after the Christmas. So I say January, but it was like between Christmas and the New Year.
Yep.
We found the problem, and I called the coach Peter, and I said, "The coach, I'm leaving. Um, I'm leaving." He said, "Oh, why are you leaving?" I said, "Look, we found this problem. I want to go tomorrow to Portugal. My family is there. We have this problem in the heart. I want to go. I want to go." And he told me, "No, Rafa, please stay. Don't go." Me and the president, in that time, the president also called me to give his support to my situation. And he told me, "Rafa, check when it will be the surgery. Everything you need here about doctors, everything. Just tell me. But please stay. I understand your situation, but we would like you to stay, please, in Omonia. You are playing
Mm,
now. We need you." And okay, in the end, I spoke with my family, and because the surgery was not for the next 3, 4, 5 months,
yep.
so I said, okay, I will stay. Uh, I will stay also because they show me the support. They show a lot of support to me and my family. So I decided to stay until the end of
Mhm.
the season and then to move on. Then to move on.
Well, you went back to Portugal. You went to Boa Vista. Then you
Yeah.
went to Poland. We went
Yes.
to, was it Cracovia, then Legia Warsaw,
Yes.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yes.
Let's quickly talk about Legia Warsaw because I know they're a massive club, absolutely massive, especially in Poland. What can you tell me about your experiences there, like the supporters, the club itself, playing games out there, packed stadiums?
Look, in general, Poland surprised me. For it was a really surprise, positive surprise. I mean, because when I had when I had the possibility to go Poland was after the year in Portugal, um, and it was during the process of my son's surgery. So in that year, I was really below of my, let's say, skills. In that year, I can say I don't have problem to say, in that season, the football for me it was uh, it was a hobby. Let's say I didn't think too much about football. I was just focused on my family, and that's why I decided to go Portugal. I decided to go to a club that I respect. Is big. Uh, it was close to my city, so I wanted to stay close. So, but in that season, I was really not focused on football. I was just focused on my son. If the surgery will be good, if the recovery will be good, and thanks God, everything was perfect. The doctor was amazing. Thanks God, he made fantastic recovery. Uh, was really amazing. And when the season finished, the process was already done. Was everything was done, like surgery, recovery. It was good, no consequences. And I said, okay, now it's time to go again out of Portugal and to focus again on my career. Um, because I didn't want to go to Portugal. When I leave to Omonoia, I said I don't want to go Portugal again to play. I want to stay outside.
Abroad,
So,
yeah,
but okay, but uh, you cannot make plans. Only God knows what
of
He have
course,
for you.
of course.
So, but after my season in Portugal, I said, okay, now it's time to go again to abroad. Abroad of Portugal. And they call me from Poland. I say, "Oh, Poland. I never heard about Poland, the Polish football." But the project was really good from Cracovia. The project, the coach, ideas, mentality. I say, okay, let's go. And first year we made fantastic season. After 6 months, coach put me first captain of the team. To in Poland to have a captain from outside and not Polish is really difficult. Huh? I can
Oh
tell you
yeah,
that it's really, really difficult to have a captain that is not Polish. So after 6 months, he put me first captain because he had some problems with the other. He put me first captain, and we win. We win the cup for the first time of the history of the club.
not bad,
We
not bad.
Yes, for me it was amazing. After one season in Portugal, like I didn't want to play football, and to make this season with a lot of goals, then to take this trophy for the first time of this year of the club. For me, it was really amazing. And then came the chance to go to Legia Warszawa, and I said, no, and Cracovia is good and amazing club, but Legia is
Different level.
different level, different level. And I mean about everything. I mean about the fans, stadium, training center conditions. Uh, is it's really amazing. It's for me, I can say it was really an honor, and they know because I talked to them many times. It was really an honor to be there for the 2 seasons to take championship because we won the championship to play Europa League with them. For me, it was an honor to dress that jersey. The club and the fans, they are really amazing, top, top.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So You then go to AEK in 2022, and that was round about the time when the kind of mini revolution started at the club. Obviously, Javier Roca was there. You then
Yeah.
joined the club when they had three other top strikers in Triskovsky. I think Romo came in, Nikolic came in. But talk to me about Triskovsky here, because now he's the sporting director of AEL. He's a club legend. In fact, he's a legend in Cyprus football. So what was he like? You played with Matt Derbyshire, you played with Triskovsky, two fantastic players.
Two fantastic players. I say this. I said already many times in interviews, in television. Let's talk first about Driskovsky. Like for me, he's an example. As you said, he's a legend. It was a legend. It was a legend when he was playing, and he's still a legend of this league. I think. I don't know many years before. 20 years, 30 years. I don't know because I never watched them. But for me, it's if not the best, the one of the best strikers of this league. And I don't
Oh,
think
100%.
nobody,
100%.
and I don't think somebody will reach that level, the level of Triskovsky. The goals, the games, I don't think, to be honest. I have maximum respect for him as a player and as a person. I said many times, I will repeat again, is because when I came to Omonia, I don't know if he was, I don't think he was here already, I don't know. But after I leave Omonia, I was following Cyprus Championship, the results to check. And I didn't know him before I play with him. Never meet him outside of the pitch. And every time I was watching the results of AEK, I was watching AEK won 3-0, 3-1 goals. Triskovsky. I say, wow, what is this? It's unbelievable. And every time I watch let's say, best scorers of Cyprus. Okay, let's watch for curiosity. I know Triskovsky there, Derbyshire, Triskovsky. Triskovsky. My friend say, oh,
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? So we say every year to score 20, 25 goals. I know, average 20 goals. I don't know, between 15, 20, 25. I say, but who is this guy? And then when I came to AEK, for me it was, curiosity. I say, now I want to see how it's possible. Because also he is not so tall. Understand?
Yeah.
But in the box is really good. So how is possible? Because okay, you score the penalties. Okay, but you need to score them. If you miss, it's not the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. But it's not only penalties. Scoring goals from outside the box, inside the box, with the head, with the left, with the right. And if I was like to have even like how I will say this, the admiration that I had before, it grows up when I start to see on the trainings, because you see on the games, but when you see on the trainings, I will be honest with you, I was watching him sometimes training, and I keep for myself sometimes movements, because it's not because when I was with 30 or 31 years old, every day I'm learning new things. So like I said, you need to take things from the best, and in my opinion, Triskovsky is the best striker in Cyprus. So let's watch him, let's learn from him. That's what I did my time in AEK, and for me it was a pleasure to share the dressing room and the pitch with him. And second, Derbyshire was for me different from Triskovsky, because Triskovsky is a player that he likes to be more involved in the game. I mean, he likes to come, to make 1-2, to take the ball from the left, to try to make situations of combinations of the passes. He likes to try to assist sometimes. Derbyshire is a killer. Derbyshire is, let's say, a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Derbyshire is there on the box. It's unbelievable. He doesn't like to be so much involved in the play. He doesn't like to be so connected to the, okay, let's make 1-2. No, Derbyshire is the last 25 meters, last 30 meters, just pass him the ball, cross to him. He will find a way to score. It's for me also one of the best strikers in that plays here in Cyprus.
Oh, 100%. And I'm not just saying this because Matt is my friend, but I think when you're playing in the league like Cyprus, where the quality isn't Premier League, it isn't Serie A, it isn't La Liga, but when you bring in a player that has got that experience at the high level, you can tell the difference. You can tell it's not just about the first touch. It's not about the finishing. It's about just everything in general. The overall gameplay. You can tell the difference.
I don't want to be what I will say now. I don't want to. Is not a critic. It's not something negative, because now the championship is different. But if you see the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, what I remember from Cyprus.
Yep.
And when Triskovsky was playing and Derbyshire was playing, I don't want to make mistake with another player, but I will speak about this too. You see the battle of goal scorer, it was over 15, 18, 20 goals.
Yeah.
Understand? In seasons 22, 23, 24 goals. They were fighting to each other to be the top scorer of the league. And now, for example, this year, the best scorer of the league was
13 goals.
13 goals.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. He's not a critic. I left from January, and I just missed the goal scorer for 1 goal.
Oh, one. Yeah.
For 1 goal. I don't want to say this in a negative way. Also, because now the league now is more competitive. Now is a lot of teams with amazing players, with money that also can bring another kind of players. Before, I can say that, also that before it was 5, 6 teams to fight for the top 6. Now you have 8, 9 teams to fight for the top 6.
Yeah.
More difficult. It brings more interesting games. The games that are more difficult for the strikers as well is more difficult because you face more difficult defenders.
Yep.
But if you see when was Triskovsky playing and Derbyshire was playing, if you want to be top 3 of the scorers of the league, you need to score minimum 15 goals. You need to score. Understand? Now, what I say is like last, I don't know, and 2 seasons ago, it was Gyro with 17, 18. I don't want to make mistakes.
Yep.
It was Gyro with, I don't know, 17, 18 goals. I think. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
I think Gyro got 16, 17, something like that. It wasn't 20. It wasn't 20.
Understand? And what they did, the people, they have to respect what they did. And appreciate.
I agree. For sure. Okay, so that season at AEK, it was kind of a historic season, really, because I know Oltra was there and you guys had this incredible European experience. You went through the Champions League qualifying, then the Europa League, then the Conference League, and then you ended up playing West Ham. But what I remember that season was it you had this, obviously, this experience in Europe, but then the playoffs started round about the time when you faced West Ham. And I think you started the playoffs with 2 losses, one against Apollo and one against Ari. And then you had the draw against Apoel. So was this, because you guys were challenging until the playoffs. You guys were challenging. So do you think it had a lot to do with the long season because you had all these European games? And I don't think fans understand that it takes a lot out of you physically from not just the traveling, but also you're training different. You're playing in different countries. What was that like? Would you think that was the reason why the club fell off, like because of the European games?
I think it was, I think it's my opinion. I don't want to say that this was the reason. This is my opinion. I think
Hmm.
it was mental because it was a really long season. We started in middle of June, middle of June. We started, after 1 month, we had this qualifications, Champions League, Europa League. Uh, After started the league, and
Yeah.
until January, until January, February, I don't know, until January, middle of February, I think it was really, really amazing
Yeah.
season. Maybe one of the best, let's say, because we need to combine the Europe, not only the league. It was, I don't know, maybe the best in history of the club. I don't know. We were in January first of the table, I think. In
Yes.
January
Yes.
we were first in the table with more 3 or 4 points from the second. I mean advantage from Upwell. I think I'm not sure. I don't want to make mistakes, but we were first for sure in January. We were in the next round of the Conference League that we will
Yes.
face the Dnipro in the 16th. I don't know 16. I don't know. I think 16.
It was.
So
Yeah.
and then you play against the Dnipro, you beat them, and you go to the
Isle.
16th or 8th. You go, you
Yeah.
go, you go to play against West Ham,
But you
and
you played Dnipro and then you lost to Isle, didn't you? You played Dnipro and then you lost
yes,
to Isle in the league, and then you
yes,
played them in
away.
the second leg and they lost to Apollon, and that's when it kind of started.
And then after these games, after we was West Ham, after before it was Apollon, I think we lost. We had one red card. After West Ham, also red card to play with 10 players. It was after that. I think it was the moment that we we start to go down because mentally it was most of the players in March they had already 40 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not only physical problems because you are tired. Okay, from the season is difficult, but here is difficult. You have to play every 3 days. You have to travel. You have to, as you say, recovery, traveling, play. So I think for a team, for a team to play 50 games, 55, because most of the players finished, like I said, the season with 50 games. I finished
Yeah.
with 49. Maybe Gus Ledis was playing most of the games, finished with 50 games.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and he's not usually in Cyprus. You know that. He's not
Yeah.
usually in Cyprus, one team in a season to make 50 games. Okay, maybe it did now
No.
Paphos. Paphos did it, I think now. But
Yeah.
it's not easy to have 50, 55 games in a season. You need a squad of 30 players, good level. That what I mean is that you need to have 30 players that Sunday you can play with a base of 6, 7 players, and you put another three, and you don't lose, equality.
Yeah.
And I think in this year of AEK, we had good squad, but not enough players to make this rotation, to don't lose uh, quality, to don't overuse uh, another players that was playing Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah.
In one moment of the season, you'll go down for sure because you are not Premier League team that are used to this. I think it was for me, my opinion, it was more mental tiredness than physical or tactic. For me, it was the reason.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, that's pretty normal because when you look at over the years, let's say the last 5 years, the Cypriot teams that have had European competition, they haven't really done well in the league. If you look at Omonoia, for example, when Omonoia won the league, they had the following season was the Europa League. They finished 7th. You look at Apollon, who won the league, and then they played the Europa League again. They finished, I think, 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
And then it carried on. The only team is Buffalo. And Buffalo weren't champions when they started this season. When they started the season, they'd won the cup, but they started their European campaign in July with the qualifiers and everything. And they carried on, which I think, for me, makes their title win so more impressive because they started their season in July, you know, and yet they carried on and they won the league by 8 points, something like this.
Yes.
So that makes it even more impressive, not just because they won the league with this big gap, but they had so many games, and yet the management was brilliant. The physical management was
really, really impressive from them. And the people don't know what is behind this. Understand?
Yeah.
As you say, it's not only the players, it's about the management, about the physios, about nutritionists, about maybe psychologists. I don't know if they have, but for sure they have. I don't know, but for sure they have. What is involved behind this season of Paphos? And don't forget that they played the cup final also.
Yeah.
And they lost in the penalties. Understand? So, as you say, the last years, most of the teams, or all of the teams, excluding Paphos, that they went to European groups and they were good in the European, they couldn't win the championship or to be close. Understand? So, and I had this experience in Legia Warszawa also. In my first year, we couldn't reach the European groups. We were champion.
Mm-hmm.
We take the championship. Next year, for me, we had better squad. We went to the group stage of the Europa League, and we finished 5th or 6th with Legia Warszawa. Understand?
Yeah.
Even in Poland was difficult. Even in Poland is difficult, and it's not only Cyprus. It's difficult to have this. You need to be really prepared for the. You need to prepare this in May or June, not after during the season. You need to have people like smart enough to understand that the season it will be 12 months. So okay, season will be 12 months. So most probably we can play 60 games. What we have to do? Okay, we have to invest in the best physios. Okay, we have 4. Okay, maybe this season let's put 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put more investments for supplements. We need the players to recover to have the best supplements. Okay, let's instead of 25 players, okay, let's bring 29 and 30 to have this rotation for the cup, for the league, This is a job from May, June, not after the middle of the season. You need to fix these problems because after, like I say, is to fix the problems, and the most important is to avoid the problems, not to fix them. To avoid the problems. Understand? Okay, really impressive what Paphos did.
For sure. And you know what? When we talk about the following season with AEK and how the season started, it wasn't great, the start of the season. Then Oltra was sacked and Ben Shimon came in. Part of me thinks that the season started average because players were still tired from the previous season. Because I know you had a break, 4 weeks maybe, but then you still needed to come back early for pre-season because you had European qualifying games. Do you think that was still a part of it, or maybe just Oltra didn't have the same spark as before? I don't know. You were there.
I think I don't know how many days we had holidays. I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. Not that much, to be honest.
It's not a lot.
So much.
It's not a lot
because I think we as a players we need to disconnect from football after the season.
Yeah.
For example, now I will have 8 days of holidays. Next year, next week I start already the season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's because sometimes I spoke about this before. Sometimes it's not about physical tiredness. Sometimes it's about mental.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about mental. Maybe your body is fresh, but your mind is tired. Maybe your body can run 10 kilometers, no problem. I can go now and run 10 kilometers. But what your mind is saying about this? Don't go. Don't go.
But Rafa, this is the thing. Footballers now can play till they're maybe 39, 40. Look at Ronaldo. Okay, I know it's an example, he's the elite, but footballers these days in 2025, they can play till 38, 39, 40.
Yeah.
That's because obviously they're more athletic now. Their diets
Yes,
are
yes, yes.
different. They've learned. But the problem is, I think it's going to go back down to maybe 32, 33 because of the mental side of things. Because it's the mental side of things that's killing these players because you're always having games. Look now, there's a tournament in the United States. When you look at Benfica and Chelsea and all these other teams, what's going to happen next season? These players are going to be dead by December.
For me, it's crazy. For me, for the fans, it's amazing. First of all, for the
I don't know. I still think there's too much football on television now, bro. There's too much football.
Yeah, I know, but for the fans that they are really, crazy about the clubs, it's good. Okay, in June they have football to watch. Usually they start in August. Most of the leagues start in August. They don't have nothing to watch during 2 months. Now they have in June, they have already games to watch, interesting games. But my opinion as a player, for me, is crazy. I don't even watch because I don't agree with this. Because if it was with me, okay, people say, but they win a lot of money with this kind of salaries. I can play every 3 days. Okay, go.
No.
How many play? Look, how many? You see what Morata say about his mental health?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many players that they are on the top? On the top. I don't say. I don't say like our level. I say like my level. It's normal level, not top level. Top level is these guys from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, and how many players from this level they have a break, like
mental breakdown.
mental break, like mental problems, and they need to take the best psychologists. They need to have a break during the season. How many players like high level, and they win millions?
Yeah.
And this is because of that. It's not physical, it's also mental. And most of the players, they say, I'm tired, I will finish football 32, 33. And they can play until 36, 37. But your body, maybe, yes, no problem.
Yeah.
But and here, your mind, to have
But
to
Phil,
find
there are
motivation.
supporters don't understand because footballers, like you finish a game, you have the adrenaline, you can't sleep until maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then some footballers start taking sleeping pills and then they become addicted to them. So they rely on the sleeping pills to sleep because they can't sleep after games.
Yeah,
People don't think about these things, man.
Yeah, for example, I talk about me. For example, if I play after 6 o'clock to sleep, I go sleep two or three in the night. I don't take pills because of that, because I don't want to be addicted
Yeah.
on that. Because after I will know that every game I have to take one pill. And what will happen if you? What will happen if you play Thursday and Sunday? You'll take 2 pills per week to sleep. This is good for you. So I prefer maybe it's not good what I'm saying, but I prefer to don't sleep. I prefer to go to sleep 2 or 3 in the night, to sleep 5, 6 hours only, or 5 hours to go training. Maybe after the lunch I take a nap.
Yeah.
But to take a pill, but is a reality. Most of the players they take pill to sleep because they need to rest. Because they need to recover fast. Because in 3 days they have game. They will not be 100% physical to play. So what I do? Okay, I will take a pill to sleep because I need 8 hours. I need 8 hours minimum to rest for the next day to train for the recovery. It's crazy. It's crazy. And to have this now in June for the players, they have break 1 week. 1 week, I don't know, 12 days. For me, it's not enough. For me, it's not enough.
Well, I know Ajax players had 2 weeks break and they've come back on Monday. Ajax had two weeks.
I know. It's because I still talk with some of them. But for example, okay, what for me is good. For example, Poland. Okay, I will have 9 days holidays, but I know that in December I have 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? So in my mind, I know it's difficult. 8 9 days holidays. Yes, it's difficult. Okay, but after in December, because the winter we have the winter break in Poland. After I have 5 weeks holidays,
Yeah.
4 to 5. So it's enough time to recover from these 6 months and to prepare mentally for the next 5.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
And but for me, for the players, for example, I finished the league with the cup. They finished the league late because of the cup. Okay, it was good, they won. But 2 weeks holidays, start again, and start again with this weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
That's
this
the other
weather.
thing. That's the other thing.
Start again with this weather. Uh, you are, I know, because I make many. You are tired every day. Every day you are tired because you train in the morning very early, or you train in the night. So the rest of the day, what you do? If I train in the morning because of this weather, I'm dead.
Mm.
During the day, I'm dead. I don't want to go out. I want to stay at home, relax, to watch television or something because I'm tired. You know, this weather makes you tired.
Well, this is why clubs need to improve their training facilities, because if you have an indoor training field, it makes it a lot easier. You
But
can have the
it's
aircon, whatever.
but imagine indoor with this with this weather is like a sauna.
Well, if you have aircon,
Yeah, but still, but it's really it will be really expensive to have this kind of infrastructures in the club.
well, but bro, this is what I'm saying. If you want to be the best, if you want to
Yeah,
dominate,
I
you need to
know.
do these things, you know. But unfortunately, Cyprus, they're still a little bit, behind. But
Ah,
anyway, it's okay. It's okay.
Siga, siga, slowly they
Siga,
are
siga.
increasing. Siga, siga, they are increasing. They are, really. I'm being honest. I say to
Yeah,
many people, I'm saying this to many people that ask me, friends, football players, hey, how is Cyprus? I said, oh, Cyprus is growing up. Like how the people are, siga, siga, but it's growing up. The
hmm
league, the league, the organization, uh, is growing up. It's growing up easily, calmly, but are growing up.
yeah,
Are growing up. See, the
absolutely.
stadiums now is getting better. You see now this Alpha Mega Stadium
Maybe I am.
is for me what is really amazing. It's a really really good pitch to play. Uh, so and the rest of the stadiums are not bad. If you see the stadiums, okay, some of them they need
A lot
like,
of
let's
work.
say, upgrade,
A lot
a
of
lot
work.
of work. But okay, siga, slowly
Yeah.
they will do it.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are bad stadiums in other countries. It's
Yes,
just
for
one of
sure. I
those things.
was.
Just one of those
Yeah,
things.
the last 3 4 months I played in the stadiums. My God.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We won't talk about the season with AEK where you didn't win the league, because that, for me as an Omonoia fan, I wanted you guys to beat Abuel, but then obviously went down to the last game of the season. You lose it on head to
Yeah.
head. Not great. But let's talk about, because I know we've been doing an hour and I appreciate your time and I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
No,
But
it's
let's
okay, man.
talk.
It's okay.
Let's talk about Anorthosis, because they're another club, a historic club in Cyprus. You join them at a time where it's been very difficult for them. They've had 4
Yeah.
presidents in the last 3 years, financial situations, players not being paid, not finishing in the top 6. Rafa Lopes joins Anorthosis, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is interesting, because you have Kiko there with a good left foot. You have Conceição on the other side with a good right foot. You have other players there, and you start the season pretty slowly, but you're the top goal scorer. How can you describe the situation or your time at Anorthosis? Because I've got friends that love the club, and I'm sure they want to find out more about your time at the club.
Look, now it's easy to say this. Now it's easy to say, maybe, uh, People will say, no, he's saying this because the season was great. But when I signed, I said this already in the interview for the television for Andrea. Um, when I was saying, with Anorthosis, um, I was feeling that it will be the best season of my life. I'm totally honest, totally open. What I'm saying to you, uh, I don't know. I cannot explain. It was, well, I don't know. It was God was talking to me in that time and saying, sign in Anorthosis. I'm totally honest. I'm being very open in this conversation. Like, I signed with Anorthosis. I knew the the problems. I knew what the players passed before because many of them they were my friends. I was
Yeah.
talking, so I knew it, and I decided to don't renew, to don't sign new contract with AEK. I decided, and in the end, I decided to go to Anorthosis, and the money was. I will not say something negative because it was money, and they. I always respect the clubs. They pay me, even if it's good or bad. They pay, so I have to
Hmm.
respect. But the salary was not high, was not very high. Understand? Comparing to AEK, for example, that I was my salary there, and I don't know. I told you that I was. God was telling me to sign, and when I signed it, I think it was the best decision of my life. Now it's easy to say because it was everything was
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
individual. But I don't know. Every time I explain, I say this to my wife many times. Every time I put that jersey, I feel that I don't know. I don't know. I feel it is another person, not me. Understand? Like magic,
Do you,
you know?
do you think it's because of the history of the club and the
Maybe,
way that the situation is, how everyone, because the fans were very unified. They raised €1 million to save the stadium. Everyone seemed to be very close. You know, it seemed like
maybe,
a family.
maybe. I don't know. I always like it. I always like to play in Papadopoulos, even as opponent. Always say to my friends, and they know that. Always they say, "Oh, I like to play in Anorthosis Stadium, even if he's as an opponent, because I like this kind of pressure. I like this
Hmm.
kind of games." Uh, I always say I always like to play in Anorthosis, and no, I never think the possibility to go to Anorthosis. And for me, as I said, every time I put the jersey of Anorthosis to play in Papadopoulos, the way from dressing room to the tunnel to the pitch, I don't know. Feel even now I feel like my skin is.
Goosebumps.
Yes, I for me it was really magic. I don't know. I don't know how way I can explain that, like in a words, to explain the feeling to
Well,
play for
sometimes you
Anorthosis.
can't. Sometimes you can't put it into
I can't.
words.
I
That's
can't.
that's the thing. Sometimes you can't do it. Um,
I
but
can't.
look, as I said, it was a difficult situation with the finances, etc., etc. Did you see any similarities between Omonoia and Anorthosis when it came to the financial side of things? Like, I'm not talking about non-payment. I'm just talking about how critical it was in and around the club, with maybe staff members not happy, or maybe just a difference of mentality. How
Hmm.
maybe people were together because they knew that things weren't great. So we're going to do this for the club, whether it be working for free or whether it be just trying to make people happy.
Yes, I think you touched into touching the point. I think Anorthosis people that they are working in the club, they of course they work to get paid every month, but they work with not only for this. They work there because they love the club. They have connection with the club. They have connection with the history, and they respect more the history of the club and the club than the money. Of course, it's not really. It's not like really gentle to say like, hey, nobody work for free. Of course, everybody that have a job needs to get paid in the end of the month. Of course, this is normal. But this that people in Anorthosis they play they sorry they work of course to get paid every month because they have families, so they need to take care of the families. But also, they love what they do, so they respect the club, the history, and they really enjoy. And my time in Anorthosis, I never see somebody in the club that I say, oh, but this guy don't want to be here. This guy, okay, the club have problems. This guy, okay, tomorrow he's not coming to work, or somebody miss one day. Okay, where is this guy? Oh, I didn't come to the training. Oh, why? Oh, he's okay. He's not getting paid. He don't come. Never, and come with a smile. That's why I say, okay, they want to get paid, but I think this also the players they are smart. They see this, and this also, like, let's say, transfer to the, you know, to the players as well. This the love that they have for the club transfer to the players. You know, the players can see how much they love. So for us, minimum what we have to do is to try to do the same. Understand? We need to respect the history, the club, of course, because you get paid. Even if there is delay, there is problems, you get paid. You will get paid sooner or later. But if these people that receive maybe 10% of your salary, or maybe less than 10% of your salary, and they come with a smile, yeah, I think it touches you, you know. I don't know. I speak about me, honestly. I speak about me. I don't want to put another players involved in this conversation because maybe another players they have different opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Understand about this, but I talk about me. Say how is possible this, let's say, guy, this person on my side is coming to work with a smile. He's not getting paid. Sometimes I don't know because I never ask nothing. Uh, But how is possible? He's coming with a smile. He have one or two kids to take care, and okay, I will come. Me, I will come like with a sad or upset. This is my vision. My vision. Understand? I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Don't want to be in a, like, let's say, very positive about this. All positive. You know, I don't want. I prefer,
Yeah,
of course, the
you think about other people's feelings before behaving a certain way within the club. You have to, because it's not just impolite, but also you don't want to be maybe showing off to say, "Well, I'm getting paid and you're not," kind of thing. Because some people will probably think like this.
yeah. Yeah, but
So
as I said, look, maybe I have my vision about this. My opinion is this, and maybe you ask another player that played in Anorthosis last 2 3 years, and they have a different opinion. And it's not
yeah,
because mine is correct and his opinion is wrong. I don't want to say that mine is the correct one.
yeah.
Just want to say that this is my vision, and this is what I was feeling in my time in Anorthosis. That's why for me it was the best moment until now of my career. I mean,
For sure.
every day, every day. Of course,
Well,
if I talk about club, I have to say Lega Warszawa because of what we spoke
your
before. But
achievements there. Yeah,
achievements
yeah.
there, the fans, the very it's different. It's different. But Anorthosis for me, uh, I have and I will have always big respect. And I hope, honestly, this is. I hope I I can put this jersey again in the future.
Well, mate, from what I understand, you deferred your payments or something like that. Because when you left the club, you were happy to not. There's something to do with the financial side, which you were happy to just say to the club, right? You don't need to pay me. Is that right? I'm trying to understand what happened here because the reports
Yes,
that you let.
for
Yeah,
yeah, for me it was look was so difficult to say goodbye. Was so difficult for me um, to go. Really, was so difficult for me to go. But in that time, um, Anorthosis, we were out of the cup. We were out of the cup because it was end of February. So another 2 months and finish the season. That's why. If it was before, no chance. We were out of the cup. We were in the fighting to the top 6, but it was not something that it was target for the club. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, end of the season, most probably, I will go for free. Understand? So,
Yeah.
this club in Poland, they contact me with the interest, and I know that if I ask to go for free, they will let me to go for free. I think,
Mm-hmm.
but in my idea, in my mind, in that time was not fair. It's okay if they want to take one player from Anorthosis, at least let's try to help the club with something. Understand? So this is me to show respect for Anorthosis. Understand? Because I know that if I ask the club to go for free, maybe they will let me. They will let me to go for free. We were not fighting for nothing. And okay, if I fight, or let's say not fight, but if I ask, please, maybe they will. But in my mind, I say, look, for free, impossible. So I tried, to convince the club in Poland to pay some money, as a transfer to help the club, because I know that Anorthosis was facing some problem. I say, okay, look, minimum
Yep.
that I can do is to try to give some money to the club. And I had, I don't know, let's say 45, 50,000 euros to get from salaries, from some individual bonus that I reach from goals and assists. And I say, okay, everything combined is around 100,000 euros. I say, okay, look, maybe this is good amount to help the club in this difficult moment. And okay, so I spoke with the club, and spoke with the president. Say, look, this club will give this money, my 45,000 euros, 50,000. I don't want. I don't want. I don't want. This is my turn, like let's say, to be grateful,
Yep.
because I make the best season of my life in 5 6 months, and it was, yeah. And okay, after in the future, I had the chance to take the trophy for, like, let's say, the best scorer of the second group. So for me, it was an honor to have this trophy as an Orthosis player. Understand? So it was good to help the club in, not in really big amount, but something. Understand? It was my
Yeah, but a
way
hundred
to
thousand
say
is still a
thanks.
hundred. 100,000 is still 100,000, especially when the club is in a critical condition with
Yes.
finances. So obviously you've done something to help in a massive way, and I think that's why many of the supporters respect you even more, not just because of your performances on the pitch, is that you left with class and you helped them out. So I don't think
Yeah.
anyone begrudges you that, Rafa, to be honest, mate. So no, you've done a fantastic thing there, in all fairness. Well, bro, listen, I've got a couple more questions,
Yeah. No
okay,
problem, mate.
and we'll finish it there. I'm gonna give you two names, and I want you just to give me a little bit of a summary of how they are, how important they are to the club, or what they've done, or what they did in general for the clubs there. And the first person is Xavi Roca. He signed a new contract with AEK. Clearly, he's doing something right there. What can you tell me about him?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. Sorry, it
Xavi
breaks.
Roca.
Okay. Look, Xavi Roca is in the club. He was in the club after he left, after he came back. Look, if you see the results, he's doing great. He's doing great. Of course, I know the target of the club, of the people, of AEK to be champion. This takes time. This takes time and investment. This takes time and investment. Look, Paphos, last 7 8 years, how many millions they spent?
I
How
couldn't tell
many?
you. I couldn't tell
No,
you.
me neither. I just know that is. I just know that is a lot. I just know that is a lot. But
Yeah.
how many millions they spent and they didn't take nothing? Okay, last year they took the cup, but I mean trophies, trophies. Because Europa League is not trophy. To be in the Europa League, okay, is good for the reputation of the club, for some financial, is okay. but trophy to put in the museum behind you, zero. And they spend millions. Okay, they took the cup, not this season, but I mean last season,
Last season, yeah.
yes. And only this season they took the championship. So it was many years of investment, continue many years of investment to only after 6-7 years to take the championship. And I think the time will come. I hope people in the club, around the club, they are good people, And I'm in the opinion that the good people always deserve good things, understand? And okay, but like I said, this takes time, takes investment. Maybe there will be years that you will only spend, you will waste a lot of money. But okay, but if you stop, you will not get it. Understand? And Xavi is doing great things. If you see, as I said, last year's okay, they took the cup. I think 6 years ago or 7 years ago, also the cup. He was there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah.
He was there. I think he was there.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
Idiakis was head coach then.
Yeah. So look, when I was there, we finished 1 year, second place, 1 point difference. We were so close to be the champion. The year before with Jose Luis Oltra, we were there also. It was just little bit. This
Fine margins, yeah.
it's like this, only this. This year they were more far away, but last 2 years before that, this season, it was really close. But if you stop, you will not do it. He's doing great. I think many people talk to me, fans of AEK. Hey, Chaiwaka, he didn't stay with you. I never talked to him. Maybe you are the first person I'm talking about this. Huh? I'm honest with you. Huh? I never touch in this point of
In this subject,
this subject about me and the Hoka, because I was here and it's not fair. I'm not a person that I will never spit in the plate that I ate before. Understand? So I respect all the clubs that I played. I respect them because they put food. Let's say they put food in my house. So when they pay me, they are feeding my family as well. So minimum that I have to show is respect. So with Xavi, many people, Xavi didn't give you a new contract, and I say, look, I didn't accept. It was my decision. What happened in these negotiations? Nobody needs to know what it was, what happened, if this. No, look, situation was simple. I say no. He offered me a new contract, and it was my decision. What happened? I don't want to explain what happened behind this, but the final decision was mine. It's okay, no problem, and I don't have problems to say this. I don't have wish all the best. Always, I was with the president in the gala. I said, look, wish you very good luck to the cup. I hope you win. I know even the fans of I think I respect them, and I feel that they respect me as well, because the time I was there, I give the best of me.
You did, and I'll tell you what. Whenever Omonoia played against Rafa Lopes, I got really pissed off because you always scored against us. Like, fucking hell, man, this guy just stop scoring against us. Just leave me alone. Having nightmares of Rafa Lopes. I mean, waking up with a cold sweat. Like, fucking hell.
It's crazy statistic. Huh? It's unbelievable. So another thing that I can't explain it. But when I came to AEK after my first or second goal against Omonia, the president Garapataxi told me, Rafa, we have players with traditions to score. And I said, yes. He said, yes. Trisco always score with Anorthosis. Always score with Anorthosis. And you always score with Omonia. And after I came to Anorthosis and I scored.
Score, get the winner against Omonoia. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be talking to my friends. Like, Rafa Lopes is playing against us. He's going to score. There's no point. Just turn the television off. Forget it.
One goal we concede for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. You did it in the last game of the season. You did it again. This guy. He's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. No, but last year I did 2 times in the playoffs. No,
Yeah,
I
you
think
did.
yes.
You did. You won at AEK Arena or won at the KCP. Okay, lovely. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah,
this guy.
but here in Papadopoulos I was a little bit was sad. Now I can tell. I never say this because I was playing, but my kids they were in the stadium, and when I scored the goals, some fans of Omonoia they burned my T-shirt. Come on, they had my T-shirt. I
they
know
took the rap.
it's not. I know it's not easy for them. Always I score, but I always show the respect even when I score.
Yeah, bro, they had that shirt since 2017, and they
Yes. Yes. It was in the behind the goal. After I scored the goal, behind the goal, my family, my wife and the kids, they were like close to this part of the stands, and they said, "Oh, they burned your T-shirt with 21 half," and they. I said, "Okay, no problem. It's football."
but you scored goals against us before that. So what's the? Some things don't make sense, bro. I don't know what to tell you. The next name or the last name here for this one is Camoranesi. I know he came to the club, and for me, it seemed that Anorthosis was a stronger unit. They seemed more like a family. I remember you guys came to the Gazibi and you won 2-0, and you didn't have a striker. I think Evagora started. You didn't have a recognized striker, and they won 2-0. And I was saying they fought for everything. They fought, and this for me was Camoranesi, wasn't it?
Yeah. When he came to the club, it was like, let's say, nobody know what will happen, honest, because he was as a coach before he never had like, let's say, top season that you say no he's coming top coach, that he already proved as a coach that he's really amazing. As a player, okay, we'll not speak about as a player because everybody knows him, but as a coach, okay, everybody was like, what will happen, what is going to do here. So in the beginning it was like, okay, I remember first game we draw with Karamiotisa away. Was not top game. I can say was not a good game from us, but what was good for him that if he found a dressing room unbelievable. He found players, human beings, amazing, and everybody was not only the players that play in start 11. Like I mean, 24, 25 top human beings without negative ego, because every player have an ego. It's normal. Every player have his own ego. Some of them is negative, because the only thing he always think about himself, and the rest I don't care. And you have like say positive ego. Okay, I want to be the best scorer, or I want to be the top assist, but okay, I want to have to assist when we win. If we win with my City, okay, it's good. Positive egos, I mean, the team first, and with amazing atmosphere. This was what he found when he came. And okay, after he had his credits because he changed the formation with his mentality, how the way he see the football. He changed some things. Some players that they was needing for some freedom, and other players with more strict, and he understand this, and slowly we were like, better, and better. Players from injury that before with Ocas, we had many players with injuries, and it was not good physical. After he come back, injury. He had many. He faced Ocas. He was unlucky in this part because we had some injuries and we couldn't maintain the level. When Camoranesi came after some time, after 2 or 3 weeks, the players they start to be all in this line of physical condition, and things like better and better and better. As you say, we went to Omonoia. I remember I was sick. I was in the hospital in the morning, and I came in the night to play this game. And everybody was saying, "Oh, Omonoia is difficult. You will not have striker. Omonoia Lopes is sick. He's not coming." What happened? We won. Emagoras score. We were, and as a team, it was amazing.
Yep. And Krikoviak went off injured as well early in the game.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay, Lopez is not there. Krikoviak made injury. Okay, what we have to do to win without, let's say, without Lopez? We have to be team more than ever. Okay, we will not have Lopez to score. Okay, but we have to be a team. After what player score? Emagoras, the striker that play in my position. In the end, if you have this, hard work as a team, then everything will happen. No problem. Maybe it was not Emagoras, maybe it will be another player to score. But first team, understand?
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I see the Anorthosis with Camoranesi as coach, and I saw a team that worked so hard, so hard, and I'm talking about just running. And I've always believed that if you run more than your opponent, you're going to beat them in football. If you run more than them, because it just means hard work and effort, and it was standard with your team.
Camoranesi always say this hard work is not negotiable. It's demanding.
Thank you. Hard work is non-negotiable.
That's it.
Thank
The
you.
rest, okay. The rest, you can miss pass. You can miss easy goal. It's normal. Yeah, you think Cristiano and Messi don't miss easy goals? They miss. Maybe probability is is like this, but they did. They miss passes. They miss the crosses. They miss penalties. They miss. But the hard work, the discipline, they don't miss this. You see, you can see from their careers. 38, 40 years old, what they do. Because for them, it's like this. Mentality is like hard work, discipline. We don't negotiate. The rest, okay, can happen. But if you have this, what Camoranesi was saying, look, hard work first. Then the rest. Tactic, offensive, defensive. This, okay, then we'll see what will happen. But if you, as you say, if you run, if you work more, if you want more than the opponent, okay, in football, maybe you can lose. It's not guarantee. It's not guarantee that you are going to win with this, but you are more close to win than to lose. This is for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Rafa, I have one more question, and I will leave you alone for the rest of your life.
Okay, mate. It's okay.
So, and this is one I like to ask many of our guests. If you were to describe Cyprus football in a sentence, or maybe two sentences, how would you encapsulate all of that in two sentences? The state of Cyprus football in general.
To describe Cyprus football in the few words. Look, it's really nice question. Huh? Interesting.
It's difficult, huh? Difficult.
Well, I will talk about myself. Like I would say, was enjoying. For me, I enjoy every year, every season that I played here until now. Every game, I was trying to enjoy, uh, and also I can say that I'm about about me, like I'm proud, honestly, that I don't know if I will play here more. I hope, especially with Anorthosis. Uh, what makes me proud is to know that the people recognize me as a good player of this league. This is for me is makes me very proud to, and not only Anorthosis, but especially from the clubs that I played. The people recognize me as one of the good players of this league, and to be recognized also as a good person. For me, is like a trophy. For me, this is like a trophy. So and to when I'm with my kids and they heard this, for me it's really really good for them to know that the father is a good player in this
Yep.
country and recognized also with as a good person. For me,
Yep.
is most important.
I agree, 100%. And they're right, and everyone is right, because I've known you for maybe 1 week, like personally, and I will tell people that Rafa is a genuine guy, helpful, kind, considerate, and he always sticks to his times as well. He said 14 minutes, not 15, got 14 minutes, and I'm ready. He says to me.
I
I was
try
going to
to
say to him, I'm
be
ready in 13.
I try to be like German rules.
German time efficiency. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Yeah,
Well, Rafa, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your
no,
time in
thank you very
Cyprus.
much.
And it'll be great to speak to you again. Maybe later on, another time, we could do a big podcast together, get loads of other players on, maybe Kiko, get Kiko back on this show. I need
No
to speak to
problem.
this guy. He's
Just
in
for
Brazil at the
me,
moment. This guy.
yeah, it's really he's top. He's really amazing. He's enjoying the life now.
Yes. Yes, for sure. For
He's
sure.
coming back
Absolutely.
in 2 weeks. He's coming
That's
back in
right.
2 weeks.
He gets his
That's
holiday. He
okay,
gets a
man.
longer holiday than I.
Yeah, from my side, from my side, thank you very much for the invitation. For me, it's a pleasure, um especially to for the people that don't know me good to understand also my point of view about football, about life, also outside of the pitch. It's good. Also, this is good for the people to know the other part of the football player, because what you can see, the people see on the television, on the pitch. Sometimes is not
Yeah,
the same on outside, and this
that's right.
is really good. So that's why I say anytime you want to repeat to talk about with another players, for me it's an honor.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Well, boys and girls, we're done. We'll be back very, very soon. So until next time, bye bye.